Good afternoon, and as you know, I'm Paul Jones. I'm sure you've seen me before, Exhibition Manager of Warley MRC. June update on this year's Warley National Model Oil Exhibition, which I think you know from previous videos, takes place at the NEC in Birmingham on Saturday the 24th and Sunday the 25th of November this year. Full details are of course on our website, as I say every time, but I thought I'd bring you up to speed with what's been happening this last month. This time of year doesn't seem a lot of tangible evidence for the show, but a lot of work goes on in planning and administration that is very important. In fact, the show couldn't go on without it. It involves quite a few members of the team. So just to give you a feel for what we've been doing in the course of the last month, and excuse me, I need to wear my glasses just to remind myself of what we've been doing. So the first thing we've done is put the database together. That is now complete, and there's a listing of all stands. All stands are being given a stand number, and those listings are becoming available as necessary. So the trade exhibitors, the layout exhibitors, and all the other exhibitors will be receiving their allocated stand number over the next month or two. We have, I in particular, have been preparing for our sponsors meeting. We have a sponsors meeting every June. It gives us a chance to tell our sponsors. I'm sure you'll remember that's Graham Farish, Bachman Branchline, Pico, Hornby, Creasy, and Squires Models and Crafts Tools, who sponsor the movement of the locomotive centrepiece to the show. So it gives us a chance to tell our sponsors what we're up to and outline our plans for the show, and it gives them the opportunity to talk to us with their ideas and their comments. And they have over the years recommended a number of initiatives which we've been able to incorporate in the show, which I think has added considerably to the value of the show to a lot of people. So that's an important meeting. But it does take quite a lot of preparation. There's a PowerPoint presentation to put together and a number of documents to be made available. So that takes a bit of time. In fact, next Tuesday, I expect to spend the afternoon actually putting together all the documents in a form that can be taken to the meeting later in the month. I met one of our sponsors last week. He had a number of issues he'd like to talk about, which we talked through. And again, I think we'll see some benefit from that at our show this year and in future years. You'll remember last month I was talking about Tony and Cheryl and their box folding exercise. The cardboard boxes that we buy in flat that get folded up to go into the post box. Well, they've completed the completion of the boxes, but they're now working on beginning to fill them with various documents that need to go in. We can't get all those documents together just yet. We can't do the exhibition manual, for instance, until we've had a meeting at the NEC, which confirms the arrangements for the show each year. But they're beavering away, putting as much information as they can into these packs. And that takes quite a big burden off the rest of the administration team later on in the year, September in particular, and Tony and Cheryl are to be thanked very greatly for the work and effort they put into that. We've had one layout that has been withdrawn, sadly due to ill health of the builder and owner, but we've been able to replace that virtually straight away. So that's a positive. Unfortunately, it does happen. Sadly, we're all fallible, and sometimes we get to withdraw due to health grounds, which is very sad. We've also had one owner who said his layout wouldn't be ready, would we accept another layout he's got in its place? So, as he wasn't ready, yes we will. Z-gauge layout, Graham Jones, so his new layout will probably be seen at the 2019 show, but 2018 we're bringing another layout, which I don't think we've had at the NEC, certainly not in its current form. So at the end of the month I mentioned we've got our meeting at Steam with the sponsors. That takes up most of the day, one way or another. And then following that, we have the team meeting at the NEC. It's called the team meeting because it's where our team, our organising team, meets the NEC team who have responsibilities for various aspects of the show. The electrician people, the car park people, yes, the car parking people, I'm afraid, the traffic people, etc., catering. When we discuss the show, any changes, what they'd like to see us do, and to make sure what we're doing is in accordance with the not insignificant volume of rules and regulations that we have to comply with at the NEC. And I mentioned the sponsors meeting. Hopefully the July update on this video channel will include a report from the sponsors meeting with hopefully some comments from our sponsors. But the marketing continues as usual. Dave, of course, at Dean Park Station has been busy helping us promote the show through his video channel. As I said before, if you haven't seen it, it's well worth a look. See how he's getting on with his not insubstantial project. He presents that very well, I think. And he's helping us to promote the show through that channel. We've got loads of leaflets. There are about 90,000 of this particular leaflet that will be distributed over the next 4 or 5 months, so you'll see those around and about. If you haven't already bought tickets, perhaps you'd like to use that facility to do so. We also have bookmarks, and again some of our booksellers will be having those available to put in their advanced sales of their books, etc., all helping to promote the events. You will see behind me we've got our pop-ups. We have those that we get taken to exhibitions with our team as we go around. And Roger Lewis at Squires always has a couple, and they go out to the shows they go to. He is a sponsor, as I said, of our centrepiece locomotive, so he likes that to be known, and he will take those around his exhibitions. As you know, as you've probably seen him about, he does a large number of exhibitions, not just in model railways, but in other craft hobbies as well. So that's a good source of marketing for us, and I suspect for him as well. And this year, we are having, as I mentioned I think last time, some locomotives from the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway. 2 of their locomotives, together with their special coach, the Royal Coach, so named because it has been travelled in by royalty. And they've offered to take a couple of pop-ups to put at Hythe and Romney stations. So that should give us a lot of exposure over the next 2 to 3 months at that very popular railway in a holiday destination on the Kent coast, perhaps getting to some people we might not get to see otherwise. So, with any luck, that'll bring a few more visitors to the show. We've recently agreed an advert in the Severn Valley Railway and its guide to the railway. This goes out to 40,000 visitors over the next 12 months or so. So if you take a trip on the Severn Valley Railway and you get one of their giveaway guides with your tickets, you should see our advert in that. And hopefully that'll bring us into contact with a few more people who might not know about the show. The whole idea is not only to promote the exhibition just for committed model railway enthusiasts, but also to bring others into the hobby, this hobby we all enjoy so much, and in particular younger enthusiasts who we all need if the hobby is to have a future moving on. So this month has been a month of admin. A couple of exciting things happening towards the end of this month and early next month, and we'll give you an update in the July edition of the YouTube video on the National Exhibition. On the Warley National Model Railway Exhibition. Okay, see you next month. Thank you.